mentioned on Tuesday, Grant, that you feel you're beyond the start of the season now. Do yourself and the players, you feel you're really into the mix now and really down to business?
Yeah, of course. I mean, we've got over the start. We've got ourselves in a good position, and it's about maintaining it. It's about keeping our standards where we've set them in the opening fixtures, and we've still got 4 left in this month. So it's a big month for us. It's a big month, and we're happy where we are at the minute.
Yeah, and you mentioned heading into the game on Tuesday about the bounce back from Barnet. You've had a similar reaction with MK. As a manager, is that right up there with the most pleasing elements of the season so far, the reaction that you've had to the setbacks?
Yeah, definitely. We've done it at the Barnet game when we reacted and went beat Bristol 4-1, and then we've done it again. So it's the characters around the building we've got this year. I think I've already touched on it with you before, that we've got a lot of people who want to win, who want to do something this year. We want to try and make sure we're up there at the end of the season. We've got off to a great start, like I said to you. We're getting right into the mix of it now, getting close to the 10 to 12 games mark, and usually you can tell where you are and you're going to be after that. So we're excited for the rest of the season. We're really excited, but most importantly, we've got a tough task to go to Walsall and try and get another 3 points. But we're looking forward to it. Pleased with the response from the boys on Tuesday. I thought it was a dominant display, and fully deserved the victory, and probably could have scored more. So yeah, the boys are in good spirits at the minute.
Yeah, and of course with Walsall, they've had a tough old week with the defeat they had on Tuesday, and then they were beaten late on by 10 men at the weekend. So they're in the situation where they'll be looking for the reaction. Yeah,
but they're good at home. I think they've won 2 and drew 1 at home this season. But we're good away, so it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a very good game. We're confident. We're looking forward to it. We want to make sure we keep our standards high. We've set our own standards now. The players have set their own standards, and when we do slip off it a little bit, then we can get beat. I still feel as if the Bradford game, we beat ourselves. We conceded off 2 set pieces and a mistake, but it's in a distant memory now. We're only looking forward. We've responded against MK. We need to make sure we go and back that up with a victory at Walsall now.
Yeah, and I know this isn't the sort of thing you tend to look at, but a little while since you've had a win at Walsall, so it'd be nice to go out there and get those 3 points on the board and break that little hoodoo.
Yeah, we have. We have struggled over the years there, but I remember going there and winning 4-1 there the year we got promoted. So that's something that the chairman reminded me of the other day as well. So no, it's nice that we have gone there and won over the years. Don't worry about that. Yes, we have picked up a few bad results over the years as well, but we've gone there and won. So we're looking forward to that game. The last season, whatever happened there was last season. We need to make sure we concentrate in this season. We concentrate in the next game. The next game is always the most important, the old cliche, but it's very, very important for us, because we've got a good week next week. We ain't got a midweek game. We can, re-energise the boys, get their energy levels, their concentration levels back. But most importantly, we need to concentrate on Saturday first and foremost.
Yeah, talking of the energy levels and managing the fitness, you mentioned on Tuesday night about the analytics and looking specifically at the players' levels, and you've been analysing all of the players over the weekend, and that had informed your team selection. What exactly does that process involve? How much data do you have to work with? A lot.
We've got a lot of data. Ben McKenzie picks up a lot of stuff on the players every day in training, and it's really important for us, really. We use it quite a lot. Myself, David, Ben, John. We can see how everybody's feeling on a day-to-day basis, really, and that's from the minute they walk into the training ground. Wellnesses and jump tests and urine tests and all sorts of things. So it's a good tool for us, and Ben works really hard on it, to be fair. And it's important that we maximise that to as much as we can, really, because it's important. We make sure the way we play with energy. And if we've got 3 or 4 players carrying anything or slightly down on sprinting or high speed running or jump test, then we need to take it into consideration, because it's a long old season. And we built the squad up this year that we can make a change, or 3 or 4 if we need to, and it won't affect the team. Because everyone's been, like I say, chomping at the bit before the defeat. Everyone's looking forward to the game at Walsall on Saturday, and there's a lot of people now, probably 15 or 16, think they've got a chance of playing.
Yeah, it's a nice problem to have, and you mentioned about knowing when a player is at 100% and when they've dropped off that. With your team selection, do you get into a situation where 1 to 11 everyone is at 100%, or going into most games are you wary of the fact that 1 or 2 are out there and they're not quite at that top level?
You're always wary. You know, it's I think you got to know the players. You got to know each and every player, because they're all different. Someone can go through a game on 90-95%, as did Gwen Edwards and probably Jack Marriott the other night. But others can't, and it's important that you know individuals and you know how they react off different training schedules, different regimes. Saturday, Tuesday, Saturday games. They're the sort of things that we look at every week as a management staff, and we need to make sure we pick the right ones on the day who are close to 100, if not 100%, but also fit into the way we want to play against the team we're playing against.
Yeah, because I guess sometimes as fans watching the game, we'll see a player and think, oh, they're not hitting the heights they normally would do, and wouldn't be too sure as to the reason, but presumably sometimes it can just be that they're not quite at where they need to be for whatever reason. It's not necessarily their fault in terms of their skill level, it's more about their conditioning.
Of course, I mean it is, yeah. And also form does hit people now and again, you know, they do lose a little bit of form, but by getting it back sometimes means taking a rest on the bench for a week or whatever, and we've got the squad to do that. So there's a lot goes into my team selection, but one thing I'm clear on this year is when I pick a team, I'm clear on it in my own head. I don't want to, you know, go down the route of hearing 3 or 4 different opinions on it. If I think this team's good enough to win the game, then I go with it.
Yeah, and it's a different sort of challenge, isn't it, when you've got so many players playing well, and you must have been so pleased with some of the lads, if not all of the lads that came in on Tuesday night, and then heading towards the weekend. I think you mentioned about the togetherness and buying into the whole idea. There will be some people who will be a bit disappointed, but it's important that everyone can understand the bigger picture.
This squad this year is completely different than last year. They all know that this season is bigger than any individual. It's bigger than me, it's bigger than any individual, it's bigger than any of my coaching staff. It's about us. And it's whatever team, whatever formation I go with on Saturday, it's about us. That's it. The lads who come in, Liam Shepherd, Andrew Hughes, Chris Forrester, Ricky Miller, I thought the 4 of them were outstanding, and I'm sure they're looking forward to going again. So it's important that we make sure we get the right team, we get the right balance, we get the right blend, we get the right energy levels, and hopefully that's good enough to affect Walsall and make sure we go there and get the 3 points.
With injuries, Callum Chettle, initially it looked like quite a bad one. Then I think you were a bit more hopeful about him. How's he getting on?
Yeah, we were hopeful. We thought he was going to be back sooner than what we thought, but I think he had a little reaction on one of the runs that set him back a little, set him back probably 4 or 5 days. But he's close, Callum. He's close. Without putting the time skill on him, he's very close to returning. As is Andrea Borg, which is good as well. He's come back from his international duty with Malta with a slight groin strain. So he's close to returning as well, which is good and adds more strength to us. So it's we've been good on the injury front, really. We've worked hard, Ben and John, on that and making sure the boys are fine every day, and like I speak to you all about the jump test and the wellness test, and making sure that we adapt their training around how they're feeling. So it's we've been good, and we need to make sure we try and continue that.